Welcome into the happy hour set. Jake Croucher, Matthew Berry with Baker Mayfield, NFC South winning quarterback this year. Advanced Auto Parts, our friends there, making you available. We'll talk about that in a second. But Baker, over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, most yards, most touchdowns in your career this year. What went right in Tampa Bay? What clicked for you to have such an amazing year?
Yeah, obviously we started out pretty hot, but we didn't really know the system. We weren't all on the same page, so I think for us, and we lost quite a few games in a row there in the middle of the year, just sticking with it, saying, all right, guys, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Let's just get the little details right, and let's stick together and do that. And I think everybody bought into that, and that was what we saw, just finally ironing some things out in the back half of the year and just saying, all right, if we just execute, we're going to be damn good. So let's just keep doing that.
Yep. Seems like you had an amazing connection with Mike Evans, who I think is just continues to be the most underrated receiver in football. No one ever talks about him. He just piles up, 1,200-yard seasons and double-digit touchdowns.
By the way, Mike Evans, better numbers with Baker Mayfield than with Tom Brady. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, you won more games than Tom Brady in Tampa.
Numbers are numbers. I'm just saying.
What was it like kind of building that chemistry over the year?
He's such a stud, and obviously, from an outside perspective, been a big fan of his. Growing up in Texas, he did as well. Watched him his whole career and just understanding how big he is. But I didn't realize how fast he is. He's a big guy that can truly run. And then once you're in person as a quarterback, you appreciate the little special things he does on routes, how to get into a blind spot of a corner, how to win routes on leverage. And so he's done it so consistently for 10 years now. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so to be able to get to throw to a guy like that makes your life easy.
Yeah. Great year, obviously, from Evans. Also, Rashad White. Yep. Kate Otten emerged. Godwin is Godwin, of course. Yep. Obviously, in a monster year from you. Talk to me about Dave Canales, and also what's Bryce Young getting in him?
Yeah. I keep telling people this. He's the most positive person I've ever been around. And in football, it's a pretty rare trait to have. Through all the ups and downs that you go through, he kept the same approach. Like, guys, this is a new opportunity, and it's refreshing for a lot of the guys. That normally you can beat yourself up after a game that you lose or you don't play well, but he comes in, he's like, guys, let's listen. If we can just fix the things that we can control, we're going to be fine. This is a good opportunity for us. Stick together, stay with it. And so for Bryce, it's a good opportunity to have a refreshing mindset and somebody that's going to put him in a good position to win.
Yep. So, Baker, you're nominated for Comeback Player of the Year tomorrow night at the NFL Honors. Pretty amazing story. I mean, 4 teams in effectively like a 12-month period. Yeah. I thought it must have been particularly sweet going and clinching the division on the last day in Carolina. But what have the 12 months been like?
A lot of ups and downs. And to say that I navigated it perfectly would be a lie. But just trying to take it one day at a time. And I think that was the mindset once I got to LA for the last 5 games of the 2022 season was, all right, let's get back to the basics. Let's have fun playing football again. They're not going to make the playoffs anyway, so let me just have fun, enjoy being around McVay and those guys, learn as much as I can, and get that just the little kid mindset in football back and go into free agency with a fresh start. And for me, it ended up being control what I can control and be the best version of myself each and every day. And Tampa allowed me to do that, and I can't thank them enough.
Yep.
So it's interesting. So you mentioned 4 teams in 12 months, and now you're a free agent. What do you listen? We all want to get paid, right? And listen, you're a quarterback. You're going to do just fine in the market here. But what are you looking for? Are you hoping to stay in Tampa Bay? Are you looking for team fit, coach, scheme, other receivers? Talk to me as you approach free agency. What you're looking for?
At this point in my career, I want to win. And so you start to look at organizations from the top down, how they run it, do they run it correctly, and Tampa does it. Well, great. And so I saw that firsthand. So that's obviously they have a leg up on the competition. But for me, scheme-wise, what is this coach going to put me in the best position to show my strengths? And so then you look at the guys around and what you can possibly make of it. But I want to be able to have fun playing football and continue to do that because that puts me in a good position to have success, just mentally for me and being around those guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. I thought one of the most impressive performances from you this year was actually the final week of the season against Carolina, where I know that statistically it wasn't your best game.
It was horrible.
Well, but I mean the fact that you were out there and it was clear that you weren't 100%. But I remember you ran for a first down and got absolutely crunched. Can you just talk about the process of going into that week and playing that game and then ultimately clinching the division? Amazing play from Antoine Winfield as well to get the fumble at the goal line.
I can't say enough about Antoine Winfield. He saved the game for us. It's week to week, everybody has to deal with injuries, bumps and bruises, things here and there, especially late in the year. But you would have had to cut my leg off to miss the last game of the year to win the division in Carolina after everything that I had gone through there. So just you tell yourself you're not feeling pain enough, and you trick yourself, and somehow you find a way.
Yep. A lot of people did ask me, like, is he going to play? The question was like, I think he's going to play. Like, I think to your point, you have to cut your leg off.
Right. Oh, you've played through some tough injuries as well throughout your career, and separated shoulders and everything like that. Before we got on air real quickly, we were talking, because this is my second time interviewing you. I interviewed at the NFLPA rookie premiere when you were the #1 overall pick, and I was just, normally when I do those interviews, they come up and I start to introduce myself. Hey, I'm Matthew Berry, like I do fantasy, whatever. And I got halfway through the break, I was like, oh, I know who you are. I was like, really, do you play? And you're like, I play.
Yeah.
So we were talking, you still play fantasy football.
I do. I think it's fun. I have a league with my buddies that I grew up with back home, and then I have a league with my wife's family. And so it's something fun and competitive that I enjoy it, and I'm not necessarily a great fantasy football manager. I tend to micromanage way too much instead of letting things ride out. But it's fun, and especially after you get a couple years in the league, getting to know guys, like you start to play favorites a little bit. And
who was on your team? Name drop for us a little bit. Was Baker Mayfield your quarterback?
No. All family and friends always beat me to it. I was definitely going to try and draft myself this year, but had Josh Allen in one league and kind of rotated between Jared and Dak and Brock in the other. So some good guys to have.
I was just going to say, I think you're giving yourself not enough credit. Those are pretty good picks, my friend. Pretty good picks.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you're here talking to us thanks to our friends at Advance Auto Parts. Tell us what's going on with them in the big game.
Yeah, so obviously everybody knows Super Bowl Sunday, but the Sunday following Super Bowl Sunday, February 18th, is National Car Battery Day. And so the campaign is false starts, kill drives. And as we know in the football world, false starts are extremely shooting yourselves in the foot. Nobody likes them. And we're mentioning dead car batteries. And when you need to go somewhere, you need to have a good car battery. But if you register at aapfallstarts.com, and there's one false start in the game on Sunday, we're not looking for a sloppy game, just one false start, you could win free car batteries for life. And so it's a pretty big deal, and I think it's a great campaign. Yeah, here supporting it.
Just, by the way, false starts are the #1 penalty in the league.
Oh, yeah.
In the NFL, it's the #1. There's an average of 2.2 per game. By the way, both the Chiefs and the Niners are top 10 in the NFL in terms of most false start penalties. And I think the important thing is that if you win this, so you register and you win, you get free car batteries for life, not for your car,
for your life.
Yep. For your life as well. So, I mean, it's a pretty good one as well. The website, aapfallstarts.com.
Yep.
Baker, it was such a thrill to watch you have fun this year, be able to play healthy, and have a coach that obviously made the most of your talent. So continued success to you, my friend.
Appreciate
in
you guys.
Fantasy and in real life.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.